You're listening to Jazz After 9. My name's Neil Coligan here with you on this Thursday night in Winnipeg. Another frosty evening as we settle into winter. But, you know, it's going to be really hot coming up this Sunday because at the Park Theatre, they're celebrating the 10th anniversary of Dig Magazine. It's the rent party, the time to raise some funds so that the magazine can go on to 20, 25 years,
right.
30. Joining me tonight is AnnaLisa Kirby, who's been a prime mover with the magazine, along with her husband Steve Kirby and also Charlene Deal over these many years. And of course, you're a very busy lady, so thank you very much for coming by.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. How important is it that Dig exists?
That's a really good question. You know, it's a lot of work putting Dig Magazine together. Now, I'm not going to take credit for any of that. I do a lot of work behind the scenes as far as promoting Dig and PR and that kind of thing, but the people who are in the trenches are Steve and Charlene and John Funk, who's our artistic director. They've been in the trenches for 10 years doing this. It's a huge amount of work, and every once in a while Steve's just like, oh my goodness, this is so much work. Maybe we should stop. Maybe that's enough. And then we can never go through with it being enough because it's so essential to the jazz scene in Winnipeg. I don't know if people really grasp how essential it is. I think they wouldn't grasp it until it's gone. But we don't ever want to give anybody that opportunity. So
yeah, and it does seem strange in this day when so many people are looking at their devices, you know, and reading things online and that we hold something like these several pieces of paper here and we say, this is important to me.
I know. It's become that, I think, in Winnipeg. People who are interested in the music know where to go to get all the info. There is a website. There's digmagazine.ca. It's not as up-to-date as the actual magazine, and that's because of funding. You know, if we would love to have somebody that just is in charge of the website, but we do this on a shoestring, you know, and that's why we do the fundraiser every year, to keep going. We have ads, and we have people that have been taking ads out for years, and we, you know, really love those people. So thank you very much to everybody who purchases ads in Dig Magazine. You know, Classic 107 has been really supportive over the last year or so with the magazine, and the community at large, just hugely supportive, you know, and the rent party itself has been a big part of us being able to keep this magazine alive.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the rent party, especially this one coming up, because there's a very special, you know, sort of fundraising object that's going to be part of all this. I mean, naturally enough, we have lots of great music. There's always the usual, you know, silent auctions and stuff like that. But this particular thing we called a jazz day in Winnipeg?
Great day in Winnipeg.
A great day in Winnipeg. Yes, I got to get that correct. You know, mirroring that fantastic photo that was taken in Harlem of all those great jazz artists back in the day. And here we gathered all the people who were jazz supporters, jazz musicians, broadcasters, all that, to come together for this. And this is going to be part of what's available on the evening.
That's right. We were just talking about it earlier. And the whole idea was to sort of do our own version of the Great Day in Harlem photo, which was taken, I believe, in 1958 on the steps of a brownstone in Harlem. And you can look that up. A lot of people know about it already. There's all these great musicians in it, like Thelonious Monk and Count Basie and the who's who of jazz
and
back
the very
then.
visible Dizzy Gillespie.
Exactly. And Steve for years has wanted to do a version of this. So I thought, wow, why don't we try to pull this thing together to help raise funds for Dig Magazine? So I got the word out back in the summer, and we pulled together as many people as we could. And I think about 85 people showed up, including yourself, for the photo. We did it at the Forks.
Full disclosure, my face is in there.
At the Udina Celebration Circle. And the idea was to get everybody to donate the printing, the framing, and then have everybody put their autographs on the mat around the photo, which we did, and get it framed and auction it off at the rent party to raise money. It looks gorgeous. I'm so happy with it.
Yep.
And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to auction that off. We also have 3 dry-mounted versions of the print that are not autographed that will also be part of the auction. But the big prize of the evening is the Great Day in Winnipeg print with the autographs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's. That obviously is going to be a fantastic auction prize there. But there is also the music as well. And, yeah. And you're a big part of that.
Well, yeah, I'm on faculty at the University of Manitoba Jazz Studies program at the Des Tels Music faculty, and the University of Manitoba Jazz Orchestra is going to be performing, which I'm really excited about. Derek Gardner is the director of the UMJO, and he is, for those of you that don't know, he was a protege of the great Frank Foster, who was with Count Basie for years, and Derek played with Count Basie Jazz Orchestra for years, so he's kind of the cat when it comes to big band.
Yeah.
And he really does an amazing job with these students, and so we're excited to present them along with some of our faculty members, including myself.
Okay. And so just to recap here, this is the 10-year anniversary of Dig Magazine. This is your opportunity not only to support the magazine, but also to go out and see some great entertainment at the Park Theatre coming up this Sunday. Now, if you haven't been to the park, it's down on Osborne, 698 Osborne Street. The fun begins at 6 o'clock, but the concert itself will be 7:30.
That's right.
Definitely be prepared to be amazed, because I know there's so many great artists in this town. We play them here on Jazz After 9 and all the other programming throughout our schedule, other than, of course, the classical music. But I think even if you can't support by going out, is there another way that people can support Dig Magazine?
Yes, of course. You can call Jazz Winnipeg, who has also been a huge supporter of ours, and Dig Magazine. They help us administer Dig Magazine. You can call Jazz Winnipeg and donate to Dig Magazine anytime you want. Just go out to jazz concerts. Just support jazz in the city. There's so much jazz going on. You can donate to Dig all year round. Also, we're going to have Great Day in Winnipeg posters that you can buy throughout the year, just loose posters that you can buy throughout the year. We haven't really decided on a price for those yet, but they're going to be available through Jazz Winnipeg and on the website. So if you want to buy a poster, you can always buy a poster. That money will go straight to Dig. Everything we make for the rent party goes straight to Dig Magazine, because everybody is so generously donating all of their services for this, including Eric Castleman at the Park Theatre. I want to give him a shout out, because
big shout out to
he's
Eric.
Been there for us for the last 5 years, and his venue is fantastic, and it's a huge deal for us to get that.
Okay. Well, I'm going to thank you at this point for coming out, but this is going to be one of those this is your life moments, because, a lot of people who listen to this show know that, of course, that you're a singer.
Yes.
And a few years back, we won't say how many, you recorded with sax player Andy Farber, and a fabulous album called Blues Ectomy, Andy Farber and his Swing Mavens. And you recorded a song called Sometimes I'm Happy. Just give me a little setup for that one. I think you're actually even going to be performing it coming up.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not performing that song, but I'm performing 3 arrangements by Andy Farber with the big band.
Okay.
On Sunday. And I love performing his music. His music is so much fun. It's so classic, big band. So that's a blast. And I've sung with Andy for quite a few years in New York. We used to perform at Swing 46 every week, and other swing venues in the city. And I learned how to swing dance singing with that band. This was pre babies. I even remember getting out on the dance floor swing dancing when I was, like 6 months pregnant with Giselle. But it was a blast. We had a ball back in those days, and we brought Andy here quite a few times to work. He's worked with the WJO and other things, and he just writes great stuff. Great stuff.
Most recently in town for that tribute to I'm gonna miss this thing.
Oh no.
Oh.
Me too.
Catherine Russell was in town.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the Fats Waller.
Yes, exactly.
The Izzy Asper jazz performances.
Yes. That was that was last spring there.
That was a lot of fun.
Fabulous evening.
Hey, I just want to say one more thing about the rent party. We are having a red carpet this year and paparazzi. So you have to look fabulous when you come to the party and walk down the red carpet and have your photo taken. So wear your most fabulous best.
Okay.
Looking forward to seeing everybody.
Okay. Well, anyway, we are going to end off this conversation. I thank you very much, AnnaLisa, for stopping by
Thanks
this evening.
for having me.
I'm so glad to have you in. And we'll end off this with AnnaLisa Kirby singing with Andy Farber and his Swing Mavens. This is Sometimes I'm Happy on Classic 107.